Let's start why I chose Thailand. When I was young, I always had this dream of becoming a digital nomad. I saw people traveling the world, and one of the destinations I always admired was Thailand and Bali. So when I finally had my remote income and I had the opportunity to start traveling, I didn't know where to go. So the first month I went to Vietnam, and then a friend of mine was staying in Phuket, and he told me, yo bro, like come and visit. So I was like, yeah, why not? Thailand is on the list. So I came to Phuket. I decided to stay 1 month, but 1 month escalated real quick to 6 months. So in this video, we're gonna talk about cost of living, visas, having fun, meeting friends, like just how life is when you stay here 6 months. So let's start with the visa. The visa, depending on what country you're coming from, you got visa on arrival. I'm from Belgium, so I have a visa on arrival. What they just recently changed, like 15th of July 2024, is that now you have a visa on arrival for 60 days, which is insane because before you had to extend it in immigration, which I think is amazing. You can also get a way longer visa, but I'll tell you more about that at the end of the video. Then let's talk transportation. So of course, when you arrive at the airport, you need to get to your place, right? So usually you have 3 main apps. One is Grab, the other one is Bolt, and the last one is InDrive. InDrive is way cheaper than Grab and Bolt, but there's something that you have to know. Like some people told me actually InDrive is illegal, and what I've noticed is that sometimes the people that are supposed to pick you up with a certain car are not the same car and the people that are actually picking you up. So just be a little bit mindful of that, because if something goes wrong, I don't know how they're gonna handle that. While Grab is way more expensive, the drivers, they have to scan their face before they start driving, so which makes it a little bit safer knowing who you're driving with. But usually when you arrive at the airport, you cannot order one of these. Usually you have to take a local taxi to any destinations that you want. And in Phuket, it's like you have to go to a desk, you have to order the taxi there, and there's a fixed price. In Bangkok, for example, you have to pull a ticket and you will have to go to the local taxi driver and you will negotiate the price before you leave. You could also do the meter. For one reason or other, I never did a meter, but that's how it usually goes. But what I do is I will check how much the price would be on Grab, and then I will try to get it cheaper or similar. Then also a very important thing is money. I always advise you when you come to Thailand to already take cash with you, because taking money out of an ATM is going to be pretty expensive. So you're going to pay €6 or $6 every time you're going to try to take out money. The reason why I say it's expensive because that's the price for maybe a massage or food, so you'd rather spend money on those things. The reason why cash is really important because you cannot pay everywhere with your credit card, especially in places like Phuket or other islands. They usually have prompt pay, which is actually paying with a QR code, or cash. But if you do pay with a credit card, you will almost always pay 3% extra. So that's why I recommend you, if you take money out of the ATM, take a large amount of money so you don't have to get it out, or take a lot of cash from your home country, or if you're staying 6 months or a year, you can also open a Thai bank account and then you can use the QR code to do most of the payments, because those are available everywhere. Now, really important, food. Thailand is very famous for their food, street food, but they also have a lot of Western options. So that's why it's a very good place to stay at if you're from a Western world and you want to have a little bit of best of both worlds for a lower budget. One of the things that scared me the most in the beginning was food hygiene. Because you have a lot of street food, people are selling food on the stalls. In Bangkok, you see a lot of rats running around. So I was worried about that. Then I saw a YouTuber that ate street food for the last 5 years in every corner of Thailand, and he said he never had food poisoning or anything. And that gave me the confidence to actually also try all the street food in all the places. And in all fairness, I never had any problem. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they keep their food fresh, but I never had a problem and it was always very tasty. Local dishes actually are very cheap. You can think $2, $2.50. And Western places are a little bit more expensive, but still cheap compared to a Western place. I would say like €9, €12, $9, $12. Of course, you can make it as expensive as you want. Then food delivery usually goes through Food Panda or Grab, depending on what place you're staying in Thailand. The good thing is here, you can connect your credit card so you can pay with your credit card directly. And it's such a convenience. Like you pay like maybe €1, not even. You pay maybe like 50 cents for the delivery, which is very cheap compared to Western world. And it gives you so much convenience because you can literally work, because I'm a digital nomad, I always have to work. So I just order in all my food and it just saves me so much time. And again, it's super tasty and it's just really easy with my credit card attached to it. The only thing that you just have to check sometimes is that the prices on the apps are maybe 10 to 20% more expensive because that's the price they charge the restaurant to use the app like Grab for food. Then most of the time, what do you do if people don't really understand you? You can use translation apps. If you have Google Translate, you can use the camera and it will like on the spot translate whatever it is you want to translate. So that's really insane and that's a really good option. You can also use the voice part of it where you can say whatever you have to say and then it will translate it by voice to the other person so the other person understands you. One thing I've used lately a lot is ChatGPT. I think actually ChatGPT translates way better. The two ways I do it is, or I take a picture, either I take a picture of it and I ask ChatGPT what's going on and if they have whatever I'm searching for, or I just tell ChatGPT to translate whatever I'm saying and it will write it back in Thai language. Let's talk about rent. Rent is fairly cheap in Thailand, but it's becoming more expensive, and I'll tell you in a minute why. When I came here the first time, I rented a 3-bedroom villa with a pool, with a garden, weekly cleaning in my house, weekly cleaning of the garden, and weekly cleaning of the pool. The price I paid for that was $1,200 without electricity. So with electricity, let's say it was 1,300, which was actually fairly cheap, knowing that I was paying almost 1,000 in Belgium for a 2-bedroom apartment, which was for me such an amazing deal. Now these days, my friend recently just rented this villa and he's paying almost $2,000, and this is also a 3-bedroom villa. This might be a slightly bigger than mine, but the price difference is so big because rent, I don't know why, has only been going up here, which is actually insane if you think about it. But what if you don't want to rent a villa? If you just want to have a small room, so another friend of mine, he rented a small room, which just has a bed, a bathroom. Like you could compare it to like a hotel room, and there he was paying $200 per month, which I think is very cheap and affordable, especially if you compare it to a place like Bali. Let's talk about some fun things. Like usually what I do, if I'm bored, I would go to a massage. A massage is very cheap. A massage can go from €9 to €12, which is very cheap compared to our countries. Going to the beach is free. Like Thailand, in my opinion, has the most beautiful beaches in the world, and it's just such a nice thing. Like if you don't know what to do, you're like, let me just go to the beach. If you go to Bangkok, of course, they also have very nice rooftop bars where you can have a nice drink with a beautiful view. If you want to go party, let's talk about Phuket, because that's the place where I'm staying 6 months. Like they have Bangla roads. I would say there's a lot of darkness there. I don't know how to explain it in other way. Like you have to go there for yourself, but I don't know, in my mind, sometimes if I go there, I just feel like a dark place. But they have a few good clubs, a few big clubs. Maybe one thing that you have to look out for if you're a male and you're partying, because that's what I noticed with my friends. They would be in the club, there would be an illusion, and there would be girls on the side, and they would be thinking like, oh my God, this girl likes me, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the night, they say like, yeah, 2,000 baht, like €50. And they're like, 2,000 for what? And they're like, you know for what? Because they're freelancers, you know, like they're doing their freelance type of work. And my friends were like, no, I'm not paying, like you like me. Like, no, that was just part of the business. They were just giving you a sample, and if you want more, you have to pay. So watch out for that. Also look out for transgenders, because it sounds really weird, but usually they look better than normal girls, so that might catch you off guard. But just ask them what gender they're born, but you do whatever you cool with, you know, I'm not judging. Now, if you're like, yo, I want to stay like 6 months like you did, or like a whole year, how can I get that? Well, you can get an educational visa, and an educational visa can consist out of a few things. You could learn Thai language, which I think is a very good skill to have. Or you can do Muay Thai, which is really cool because a whole year you will be working on your physique, you'll be learning Muay Thai, and you can stay a year in this beautiful country, or 6 months. And with that, you can also have a 1-year lease, which is gonna be way cheaper if you're leasing for a whole year than renting month to month. And you can open a bank account, so that's gonna give you so much more convenience. But what I would say is really important is, in order to stay so long, please, please, please make money online. Making money online was the best thing that ever happened to my life. Like, it gave me the flexibility and the option to come to a place like Thailand, to go to a place like Bali, because that way you don't have to worry of your money running out. And normally you should earning more money, so you should actually be saving money by being here and living a way better lifestyle than you did in your home country. Like, if you're wondering how much you're gonna spend every month, it really depends on your lifestyle. I think in Phuket, $1,500 would give you a very, very nice lifestyle. That means eating out every day, doing whatever you wanna do, doing massages. So basically, your best life, I think with 1,500 would be enough. That maybe also the downsides is what I've noticed, your social life. For me, I made some local friends, thank God, so they're not going anywhere, but I made a lot of good friends, but the problem is they come and they go. Sometimes you have good friends, but after 2 months they go, and I think that's just part of digital nomad life in general. But I would say that makes it hard, and sometimes you get lonely, and sometimes you get semi-depressed, and sometimes you don't know what to do, and that is very hard because you also have to take care of your own fun, even if it's by yourself. Like yesterday, I just went 2 hours to the beach, playing with the waves. Like, I have to do that by myself. I cannot wait until somebody says, hey, do you want to do something? So I think it's challenging, but I would say your personal development grows 10 times quicker than where you are right now. Like, I've been so surprised. Like, I think what I learned by myself in 6 months here is what I would have learned in 4 years somewhere else in my home country. And I think that is the most beautiful thing. That's why you should be solo traveling, because if you really want to have a full life, in my opinion, you have to spend time with yourself and learn how to spend time with yourself and be comfortable spending time with yourself. And if you're thinking about becoming a digital nomad, down in the description I have a link to the Digital Nomad Accelerator, and this is a program that I made to become a digital nomad as fast as possible, but it also has a beautiful community of people that are all becoming a digital nomad or are already a digital nomad that are just exchanging information, and it's $8 per month if you want to join it. So hopefully I will see you there, and in the next video we will talk about how it is to live 6 months in Bali. Badejoh out.